Let's get it.
Man, warm up with Rivalry. Week 6 recap, man. It was a week of blowouts. Texas beat down Oklahoma. Auburn got beat down by Georgia. Tennessee beat down LSU, man. So it was a rough week for a lot of teams. But we're gonna start with Bama. Man, we lucky enough to have a special guest, man. John Fulton come in and talk ball with us, former cornerback at the University of Bama, man. What's up, bro?
What's up, big dog? Happy to be here. Definitely appreciate y'all boys inviting me on.
Yes, sir, man.
Welcome.
Yeah, man. What you think, bro, about the Bama and Texas A&M square off? You had Saban and Jimbo after the offseason.
Yeah, honestly, after that offseason where, it was going back and forth, I definitely had us beating them by a 50 ball. If I was a betting man, I lost that bet. So even without Bryce, I thought our defense would step up to the challenge and hold them under 7 points. But at the same time, A&M came out there and they showed hard. You know what I mean? Like, they got some great balls out there too. And honestly, Milroe, I think he has the strongest arm on the team, even before Bryce. Bryce, don't get me wrong, top 5 player, accuracy out this world, game winner. Milroe, he can throw from the end zone to about the 60, 70. And I've actually seen that happen. So he has the arm, but he lacked the experience. And A&M, their front seven, they're great. I mean, they're really, really good. They got a bunch of they had the number 1 recruit class last year. They had the number 3 recruit class the year before that. Their secondary at A&M is really what lost them the game. They're very sus. All Milroe has to do is learn how to hold on to the ball and be more confident in himself. I think we all kind of understand what it is, being thrown in that fire when I don't want to say you ain't ready, but you wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? So funny, since I'm on with a bunch of Auburn guys, I'll tell you a little story about that. So the Cam Newton year, I want to let y'all know I didn't start hating Auburn to my senior year. Out the gate. All right, I had no problem with nobody, and y'all beat us down on my freshman year against Cam Newton. So at the end of the day, like, it was an honor for me to even watch that man play. Like we were up 17, 20 points. This man smiled at everybody on the sideline and said, "Watch this." And guess what he did? That boy put on the show. So how can I be mad at that? We already lost 3 games, whatever. So I was fine with it. But at the same time, it was just like we weren't ready for that particular situation. And I don't think that Mark Barron, I don't know if y'all remember Mark Barron from Mobile. He was there, he got injured. And so I'm not gonna say who they tried to throw in. But if it was me, I'd do the same thing. Like, Cam out there cooking. So coach called somebody's name, and he was like,
"Who they call? Julio? He called Julio?
No. It was a safety at that point in time.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, "Hey, you about to get in?" And it was cold, but it wasn't that cold. That boy knees start knocking, and I was like, "Yeah." That boy is 6'7" out there toting that thing. All right, it's a freshman year, and he hadn't had any playing experience at all. So I mean, I definitely get it. A&M was a great team, but I feel like Milroe just got to hold on to the ball, but he's definitely going to be our future.
Yeah, I got some standards. That boy said he ain't expect them to score more than 7 points.
They were too much. Their offense ain't talking about nothing. And if you let them come into our crib and do that to us, what's going to happen next week when we go to Knoxville when they're going to score a 50 ball? So are you going to go back and forth with Tennessee? That's with Milroe. What's going to happen with that situation? Because Tennessee has one of the best offenses I've seen in a long time. I don't want to be a opportunist and say, oh, well, 2019 LSU offense or blah, blah, blah. But they scoring some points right now. And they're doing it in the SEC. And if you score points in the SEC like that, I mean, you have a legitimate offense. Like, you could say Oklahoma or somebody, but they're not doing it against, like, I'm not going to say real talent, but they're not doing it against some dogs week in and week out defensively. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I'm definitely thinking, like, this week coming up, it's gonna be a situation. I'm gonna be looking forward for sure.
Question is Bryce Young playing?
He got to.
He
got to.
He got to.
Yeah.
Whoever said he got to, they right. It's just no way. Like I said, Milroe, great player, but this is too big of an environment for him right now. Don't get me wrong. Next year or whatever, it's gonna be his team to run. You know, like, he got his first start under him, But going into Knoxville, to be honest, it's not no LSU, Death Valley.
It will be loud.
But
it will be loud.
But they're going to be on top of undefeated Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Alabama, it's going to sound like Death Valley. It's going to sound like A&M. It's going to sound like Auburn where they're on the back of your neck. It's going to sound like that for sure. So we're going to need some a vet presence. But I do think, and I don't got no inside information for nobody. I just watch football and I know ball. I've seen the play a couple times. The Arkansas play where he dove and threw the ball, his arm was extended. I definitely think he has a strain on his throwing arm or a slight tear. I don't have any inside information. I'm telling everybody now.
They're gonna shoot that boy out.
But that's what it looks like to me. That's what it looked like to me. But he's gonna have to play through it, and we all know how that goes. You know what I mean? You just gotta sometimes you gotta step it up.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, if I'm Bryce and I'm Bryce parents, boy, you ain't playing to your 100%, bro. We got that bag waiting on us.
But in my opinion, that's knowing what you know now. Back in the gap, when you at Alabama, you at an Auburn, when you starting, but somebody else behind you, they like that too. You know what I mean? So it's just like
just talked about that. Literally just talked about that last week. That's crazy.
Oh, for real?
Man,
yeah.
This is real. It's real, man. And I mean, you got guys playing through a lot of stuff.
Especially Alabama, though. Sheesh.
Absolutely. Like it's some injuries I never tell people the amount of injuries we had per capita at Alabama, but everybody played through it. And it don't matter if he was a starter or what, because if somebody got in, okay.
It was live, but you ain't get back out.
Okay. Somebody was waiting for this opportunity. But and then in the inside, y'all friends, but it's dog eat dog over there, man. Like I got stories for days about people teaching people wrong plays and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? That's just how it works, because people got to feed their families, and I'm an adult now, so I understand it. And I tell my son, hey, you sitting down. But as a player, you like, dog, I worked my entire life to get to this point. You think I'm this close to being a top 5 pick? You think I'm about to sit down? I'm straight, big dog. I'm gonna go out there and see what happens. And everybody know I'm hurt. So even if I am messing up, I still at the end of the day, I got an excuse. And that gives you more confidence. That gives you more confidence to go ahead and let that thing slang, because if you mess up, okay, well, I won't play next week and I'll just rest next week. But I mean, he's a very, 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 I say, he's a student of the game. And I know he's not going to try to play out of his range or whatnot. So I think Bryce he's very intelligent, because he's a shorter guy. He reminds me of Tua. But guys got to remember, Tua was hurt playing LSU that year too. So, but Tua put up some points at the same exact time. But I don't think the Vols have a defense like that LSU team had, because they had Stingley, they had a couple dogs over there too. So so I don't think they have the defense to keep up with him at the same time.
Yeah, man. I thought Bam, man, I thought the guy did a good job managing the game, bro. But more impressively, like that running game. We talked about Gibbs last week, Lo. Bro, like he's starting to come on, and it don't seem like, we know, again, man, we know the powerhouse Bama got, bro, and we know when they get the run game going. And John, you can speak on this, like the run game. Let the outside world talk about it. It's been missing for the last few years. You know what I'm saying? But with this injury, I feel like once it all start clicking, bro, we talked about it, bro. It can get ugly. Like, it can get ugly, man.
I feel like if you Tennessee, you make Foe beat you with his arm. Right, we're gonna stack this box. You know what I'm saying? We know we done seen what Gibbs can do, but Foe ain't shown me nothing as far as like going through no progression. He not gonna sit in there. It's like first progression, like what Malzahn teach you. If he ain't open, run the ball. That's what Foe showed me. The last game. So I think you make him beat it with your arm, and I don't think he could do that.
Yeah, he kind of remind me of Jalen Hurts when he first started at Bama. That's what he kind of remind me of. Like he got to grow into being a passer, but he's.
I ain't gonna even say that, bro. Jalen knew who he was early on. Jalen punished you in the run game. He let his arm come. I ain't gonna say arm, but just his progressions come along later. Jalen was never one that turned the ball over. You know what I'm saying? I know it's only been a couple times the guy's been out there, but Jalen wasn't gonna turn the ball over. He was who he was, and he was gonna run the ball. He was gonna punish you when he seen it wasn't no way to make you miss. He gonna make you feel it. So to be honest, if I'm playing, I'm gonna just own it. Like how John said, this ain't my year. I ain't got no pressure on me. This Bryce team. So when I'm in there, I'm gonna make them feel me with what I got, what I know. You know what I'm saying? My first read ain't that shit. That ain't gonna be my problem. That's gonna be Tennessee problem.
But he hasn't been turnover prone though.
No, not at all.
I mean, he hasn't been turnover prone. He threw a pick last week. Week before that against Arkansas.
He had a fumble too though, didn't he?
I think he did.
I believe so.
But he only played. The man only played 6 quarters, bro. So we don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. He don't need to try to be something he not. I would just own who I am and make him deal with it.
But in 2 games, 3 turnovers, that's the issue.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the issue.
Young guy, man. Let's cut him a break. All right. What we think about Georgia, Auburn? Go ahead, John.
Can I say one more thing on that? Because you were talking about getting away from the run game. I'm always shout out Coach Saban. That man's a evil genius, bro. Like, not even evil, just a genius. Everybody remembered like us getting towed up my junior year by A&M. Like, they ran 113 plays on us, bro. We was down 27-0, and we ain't never. You ever had a feeling it never happened to you? Everybody on the sideline looking at each other like, as soon as you out the field, like, hey, bro, what going on? Like, what's happening? So we get back in the game and whatnot. We lose, I think, by 3 points or whatnot. That next offseason, this man was like, look, we can't continue to run the ball. He adapted to the situation. I'm going to say that. He adapted to who and what was coming up. So, okay, who knows how to throw the ball? I'm going to get Lane Kiffin. Let me go get the offensive gurus that can come in here, be a general assistant or whatever it is, to make sure that we throw this ball. He adapted to it. I don't think we ran away from the run. We understood that, you know what? In the next 4 or 5 years, after people saw, it's all about how to beat the best. And at that point in time, we were one of the best. And defensively, we were, I feel like, the best. Like, in that grouping of years. So it's like they put up about 40, I want to say 37, 40 points on us. So if that's the key, that's the recipe, guess what everybody else doing next offseason? We throwing that, we about to go run 100 plays on them boys and figure out how to win. And we could try to do the Georgia thing, run the ball and keep it away from them and all that kind of stuff. But you can lose doing that. So it's a credit to Coach Saban for going and getting guys to come in and actually showing us how to throw the ball. But also, like you said, being able to revert back to the run when we have our passers out, because Miro has a great arm. The guy that's coming in behind him, Tyler Simpson, is a freshman. He has to play a lot. He's a great passer. He's going to be really good. But Bryce is our guy. I mean, like you said, it's his year. So being able to kind of revert back to that, I am going to say this, and I might not be let back in Alabama, and I'm going to say this again. Coach Saban chooses the best coaches. I will not choose to sit here and think I know what he knows. I hate Bill O'Brien, and I want to know how this man keeps failing up. This man was at the Patriots, okay, offensive coordinator, went to Penn State, sucked. Went to be a head coach at the Houston Texans, sucked for 5 years, and came to be the offensive coordinator at the #1 school in the country. And like I said, Coach Saban has his reasons, and he know more than I know. But I'm looking on the outside looking, I'm like, I want Lane Kiffin back. Like, go get him. Like, I don't know what we got to pay him to get him back, but go get Lane or Golden or something like that, because it's not working for me.
It's relationships, brother. Relationships.
Hey, and what he did in Houston, man, point of that, culture. I feel like, a lot of guys didn't like the culture he had when he was down in Houston at the time. Fellas, man, what we think about Auburn, bro? John, man, what's your take on the Tigers, man, on the outside world? Because there's been a lot of frustration with this group.
It's a lot of frustration with me, too. Now, if I was a betting man, I'm not saying I am. I don't put money on some. If I would have put some money on some folks every home game, just because you don't come in to Auburn, you don't go to Auburn and win. People ask why we lose every other year in Auburn. It is so hard to play there, bro. Like, it's like everybody be on your neck from the time that it snapped to the time it's over with. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, these guys are. If it was a Penn State game and it was close last year, maybe, and they came to Auburn and they were playing, I'm like, okay, they for sure going to win. And it's the same thing the next week. You're up by 17. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, is it the coaching staff? Because it isn't the culture. The culture of Auburn is winning in my mind because you guys don't lose home games. And that's the main thing I see out of you guys every single year, year in and year out. And if you're in the red zone, you're going to score. It's so many field goals being kicked that it's just like, what is it offensive play calling? I don't know. Please, you guys elaborate on it. I don't know.
We don't either, bro.
Man, listen. I'll hop in. A lot of guys, John, they say 50-50. They say staff, they say talent. Man, I go with strictly, bro, leadership, coaching. I think it starts in the off season, bro. I don't know if you've seen a lot of the social media stuff or if you pay attention to it, man. But on our side at Auburn, bro, we've been throwing it in everybody's face, bro. A lot of laughing, a lot of dancing. But man, I think it started at the top. I think it's definitely play calling. When you think about the quarterbacks we had, I mean, we come out of the off season unsure of who's our number one quarterback. And I feel like after week 1, we could all say who fits the system best. Not saying that Finley's not a great quarterback, but who helps Auburn win right now from week 1, I feel like was Ashford. And I feel like if we started him early on, we had an opportunity to be undefeated, man. But who knows, man? What you think, T?
Can I also ask about the guy, the coach that got let go? Was it last year or the year before that?
Receiver.
No, it was the head coach. It might have been a couple years before that.
Malzahn.
No, it was somebody. I might be
Nah. Harsin after Malzahn.
I might be mistaken. I thought y'all got a guy from maybe Memphis. I might be mistaken. It's my fault.
Oh, you talking about the OC? Dillingham.
Yeah, and he got released. I thought his offensive play calling was real good. I didn't think he deserved to get let go of what happened or whatnot.
But see, he was micromanaged.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think it's 70-30 coaching the players. Just off experience too. You forget we went 3-9 while we was there, and that same 3-9 team came right back, and you know what I'm saying, went to the Natty. So on that regard, that's why I put 70% on the coaches there, and because they let a lot of that dancing around, and they also participated. Our head coach got a podcast, John. Why I don't know. The man lost 6 straight games last year. Didn't go to a bowl game, but he had a podcast. Now, granted, he ain't been on there in the last 2-3 weeks because I don't think he want to, keep putting that image out there. But it's a circus down there, and I'm not on the side of being hopeful and optimistic. I'm on the other side. I'm laughing at him because it's more peaceful on this side. So the mother boys still believing and hoping and wishing, but they finna go 3-9 like we did.
Hey man, they're exactly who I thought they was, man. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Sound like me being a Raiders fan.
Oh man, it hurts, man.
It is, big dog.
I want y'all to know, man, it hurt, man. This hurts, man. Just to hear, like I said, dog, we ain't had nothing to be excited about all season, bro. Man, we all been on here complaining for the first 6 weeks, man. And like I said, when you think about this week, Ole Miss matchup, man, it could be another ugly week for not only the head coaching situation and questions, but just for our guys in our program. So, man, what's y'all's take on Auburn going into number 9 LSU Lane Kiffin?
Ole Miss
with that game.
And John know Lane finna try to embarrass us.
My God, that's right.
Yeah, he gonna try to hang 60.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Smooth. Kick us off.
Hey, second road game, man. I don't think it fares well for us, man. We're a very undisciplined team, man. To start out, man. Even if we didn't have the talent, man, the least we could be is discipline, man. I just don't think you can get that done in a week. You know, we had a lot of false starts going on, a lot of non-communication going on, and I think that continues. Not that Ole Miss is as loud as UGA, but they will be rowdy and ready to defend because to them, you know, this could be a trap game for them. So I'm sure they're getting preached to, yo, man, hey, let's stay up, let's jump on them early, let's get them out the way. You know how it is when you're on that other end. Kind of like our senior year when we played against Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? You let them hang around, you know, they get confidence and they could do something. But, you know, put them boys away. I think it's the same kind of situation, bro.
So, Smooth, can I ask you a question? So,
What's
to
good?
me, I believe y'all have the talent. Y'all always have the talent out the gate. I feel like y'all have some of the best athletes in the country. You can see when they go to the league, they flourish. You know what I mean? So, why do you think that is happening like it's happening right now, and specifically right now? I don't know if it's like the quarterback situation or what.
Why is it happening right now? For one, I think our last few recruiting class haven't been the best. I think they're get bys. On top of that, I don't think these guys are buying into what these coaches are selling. I don't think they believe who they are. I think it's a lot of faking going on, and when you try to fake it, man, cat's just not going for it. Like these people we got coming in doing all these dances and the gritty and stuff, they're trying to fake a culture that's non-believable, bro. People still believe in hard working and winning, bro. That's what matters, bro. They got all this going on, and we losing all these games, bro. Don't nobody care about that, bro. So I feel like once we turn that culture around, bro, and we put our hard hat on and our boots and we get our lunch pill, I think things will start to change.
Blowout, man. I think Ole Miss probably ain't 30, beat them boys by 30 ball. Because we talk about Tank, baby. Tank hadn't crossed 400 yards yet. Robbie got four touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He turned the ball over. Guys, it just the play calling and the players. On the other side, Kiffin, he got them rolling. That running back has 8 touchdowns, almost 600 yards. He 19 shy. Their quarterback does get the ball away, so there might be some opportunity for Auburn there. But hey, like I said, as long as Lane coaches with emotion and doesn't get emotional, he ain't gonna be close. He ain't gonna be close.
That's another guy, Tank Bigsby. He might go and be a 3rd or 4th round, but that boy gonna be the first pick of my fantasy team. He's about to go to the league and go like so he gonna go to a good team with a good offensive line, and he's about to go absolutely nuts. That's talent, bro. You can't teach that.
That's real.
Ken,
Go
what
ahead,
you got?
Ken. You already know.
Now, man, Ole Miss a damn good football team, man. As simple as that. Auburn, man, we got too many damn questions and not enough answers, man. So that's what I got right there, and I'm just gonna be, hey, Ole Miss gonna win, bro.
Dang.
Man, I can't believe y'all boys, man.
Oh.
Listen. Let me talk some sense. Hey, let me talk some sense into y'all real quick.
All right.
Hey, Ole Miss is exactly who we always thought they were, right? Hey, I don't know about y'all, John, but when it's Ole Miss time, man, one of our coaches used to tell us, man, Ole Miss is Ole Miss. Mississippi State is Mississippi State, meaning that they should never beat an Auburn. They should never beat an Alabama. But with that being said, man, I take Ole Miss by 17. And listen, guys, listen. The reason why is, man, I talked about this last week, bro. There's no way we should have our quarterback throwing the ball 38 times. We threw the ball last week 38 times. And we threw it the week before that 39 times. We've got 2 of the best running backs in the country, dog. There's no way we should be throwing the ball 38 times. Again, nothing against our quarterback. I think these guys can play ball, but again, we gotta have a system. We gotta protect our quarterbacks and have a true system behind them and surrounding them. But with that being said, man, I just don't think we're gonna get out coached. And with that, I think Lane ain't finna hold up, bro. This folks trying to prove a point nowadays. And after last week, it was a tight matchup with Kentucky, but I think that was a wake-up call, and I think they're gonna be ready to play this week.
You said 17, they cover the spread. Spread is 14.5. So you said they cover the spread.
Out the gate.
Ole Miss probably had 300 on the ground. I know Georgia had 292. Ole Miss probably had 300 on the ground.
One thing about Lane, he gonna put that thing in the air. He don't care if it's 4-4 on his 40. If he feel like he got to play to draw up, that's gonna. And if not, he'll deal with the consequences.
Yeah, he can't do that stupid jump this week. That what I'm talking about right there, John. He can't do that, man. Just play ball and let the boys do their thing. Don't go out there doing all that. Just play ball. They'll beat them by 30.
But that's one thing about him. It's just his coaching style, and that's why, honestly, I think Lane Kiffin could be probably top 2 coaches in the country. And it's just because, in my mind, he's been around ball so much, like with his pops and all that kind of stuff. Like, his offensive mind is just out of this world. And the crazy part about it is I know he cares about ball, but he's one of those guys that he can make TikToks. He can go and rap with players. But at the end of the day, it's because he got his game plan all laid out. And I mean, I'm not saying he's going to have success every year, but with the people that he has right now under him, he has the ability to kind of make those mistakes. I don't know if y'all watched that Kentucky game against them, but he made some calls. I was just like, I would make that call on Madden, and I'm not a good coach. Like, I'm a horrible Madden player, but I would, like 4th and 5, I would make that call, and he got it, or he didn't get it. He stopped on defense and he scored again, or held him to 3, and he got 7. That's just his coaching style, man.
But John, do you? I want to get your thoughts. What you thought about the Bama game last year when he literally coached them out of the game? The man went for every 4th down, every one in that game, and it was still a close game until eventually those 4th downs caught up to him. Like, that was just crazy to watch.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I loved it.
Yeah, because you was Bama. Of course, he loved it.
No. Hold on. So I don't know if y'all watched that Utah State when we played in the first game. I love the way that man called the game against Bama. So many teams go to Bama, they make all the right calls.
It was like 62-0.
Hold on. It's Utah State, bro. Like it's Utah. At the end of the day, it's Utah State, bro. Like, I mean, okay, like, but I'm talking about Lane Kiffin. They got the talent to back it up. You know what I mean? Like on 4th and 3, they 50. Guess what they do? They down by 10. Guess what they do? They go for it, and then they stop Bama on the next drive and they get the ball back. So at the first quarter, they was doing that coach. You can't come to Bama and play conservative. Oh, I don't want to lose by 40. I'm gonna lose by 35. No, if you play at Bama, they pay you to come down there. If you're a smaller school, run it like that. But this, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. More than Tennessee, I'm worried about Ole Miss because I don't want to say they hate each other, but nobody in the world want to beat Coach Saban more than Lane Kiffin. So
that's true.
He knows for a fact he could lose against Coach Saban in one other game every year and coach at Ole Miss for 20 more years. So he don't care. He gonna go in there. He gonna make the calls he want to call until he got the talent to back it up. And I think this year his offense kind of got the talent a little bit. So it's gonna be a harder game. And to me, if you want to prove a point, because last year was like, have your popcorn ready. I think he should say, have your popcorn ready again this year. Because that's just if he says that, I need y'all to understand that's just the type of person this man is, bro. He's a great coach because he cares about coaching, but he doesn't care when it comes to his coaching style. He is who he is. And if you hire him, that's part of the deal. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm a little bit worried about it. But I will call every game because that's how I do it, especially if I'm playing Bama.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's why I wanted to be our coach before they hired Harsin, but I knew Auburn that he ain't gonna fit what they want because Lane too crazy for Auburn.
That, man.
Lane Train's not coming to Auburn, man.
No. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't let him coach out like that.
Hey, so Mississippi State, Kentucky, kick it off, Lo. Who you taking this week? Predictions?
I'm rolling with Coach Lee, man, to proven otherwise. Kentucky, like I said earlier in the year, they got that ceiling, and I think they done already hit it. Now I do think they're gonna play Georgia tough when they come see them, but outside of that, I think they're gonna go through a little gauntlet. So I'm gonna go with Mississippi State in this game.
Yeah, man, I'm taking Mississippi State too, man. Kentucky dropping 3 straight.
I'm going Kentucky out the gate.
Kenny?
I'm going Mississippi State, man. That quarterback, I think he threw for like over 300 yards in 4 of his 5 games, bro. And then them 2 wideouts they got, man, I think they're really good. Ra Thomas and Caleb Duckins, new freshman. And I feel like they get a lot of production from their running back, man. So I'm gonna go Mississippi State hard.
Quarterback, Mississippi State got 2,100 passing yards. It's 6 weeks into the season now.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Mike Leach has brought the air raid to the SEC. Dog, I'm going Mississippi State. They gonna have to cover. They gonna be winning, dog. I'm going. They hadn't shown me that they really great tackling in space. I think they got some stiff guys out on the edge as well. I ain't gonna call them out, but that one of their cornerbacks, I think he real. I don't think he as good as they say he is. I think Leach going. They cover the spread. Spread is 4. They favored by 4. I think they cover. They beat them by a touchdown.
I'm I'm taking UK and the Wildcats, fellas. I'm tired of the Cowbells. I'm tired of hearing about Mike Leach, man. Don't believe in the hype. Don't believe in the hype, man. We taking
Where the game
UK.
at?
I'm right. The game in Lexington. It's in Lexington, baby.
Oh,
Hey, 5 minutes left, man. Let's get to the one we want to talk about. Bama, Tennessee, man. Bama's headed to
Knoxville.
headed to
Oh,
Knoxville,
Rocky
right?
Top.
Hey, look, I'm gonna kick this off. John said earlier, man, that the Vols Stadium wasn't you compared them to a few other stadiums, right? And that's one of them ones. I don't know about y'all, but when we went in there our senior year, bro, 110 strong, man, the fans shooting us birds, bro. Outside of Bama, I say Tennessee's the second toughest place to play in. But with that being said, man, y'all know what time it is, bro. I think Saban understands what's going on. He knows that Tennessee's got a program and they're gonna come in and prove a point. Hey, what happened when you get hit in the nose, man? We'll see how Tennessee responds. But I'm taking Bama by 17.
Oh man,
It is 7. What?
17, man. Yeah, I don't know about 17. I can't really do that. I think it's gonna be a shootout. And my Coach Saban always said, like, winners win and losers lose. Same thing that happened last week. A lot of people play themselves out of the game. Tennessee in the next 3 to 4 years, they're gonna be a problem. They got a quarterback coming, he's gonna be a problem. But it's just gonna be one of those things where we're gonna find a way to win. It's gonna be a high scoring game out the gate in my book. If it's an over, take the over. But with what you said earlier, Tennessee was never loud with us because we was spanking I don't know if I can curse, but spanking them boys. Like by the second quarter, it was up pretty much over with the times we went down there and played. Now they played better at our stadium. I don't know why, but they did. But yeah, I got Bama by 3, maybe. 2.
Tight game.
I'm going Tennessee, man. Hendon Hooker, the quarterback. He been there before, man. He got that poise. I ain't saying he been on a stage like this, but the cat is poised, man. I think with what they do with they splits, if y'all watch the game and see how wide these guys split, and it's simply a numbers game with them. It's simple ball with Tennessee, man. They score a lot of points, but it's simple ball. I think that cat, that Bama guy, that DB number 3, I think he the weak link, and I think Tennessee exploits him. They got some trees out there. I think they take the shots down the field. I think Tennessee get it going. I'm going Tennessee myself.
yeah, man, I'm going with Tennessee as well, man. I think they have the recipe to beat Bama. They always give Bama trouble. They can go down the field and they got a mobile quarterback. Their defense is playing a whole lot better too. So it'll be interesting to see who Bama starts at quarterback. Obviously, if it's Bryce Young, I would lean more towards them. But with Miro kid in his second start, first one on the road, I'm gonna go with Tennessee, man.
It's a tough one, dog. And I'm not gonna do a contingency plan, but I really wonder what Bama gonna do at the quarterback spot. But I think it's gonna be close. I see a semi shootout, like how John said. I don't know how high scoring it's gonna really be. But I'm gonna pick Tennessee in a close one just because of they D line, to be honest. With the exception of now, if Bama is able to get the ball out and those young receivers show up, then it's gonna be a problem. Or get it to Gibbs in space, it's gonna be a different game. But if it come down in the trenches, I'm gonna take Tennessee D line and front 7 over Bama O-line. And I think they'll keep it close enough to where their offense can make some plays in the clutch and come out with the win. Now, Bryce plays a different story, but like I said, no contingency plans, so I'm gonna just roll with Tennessee because I ain't gonna go against Bryce and Saban. If that happened, I'm gonna be iffy. I'm on the edge of my seat with my pick, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
All right, folks. Do we got enough time to get Ken in, or we need to switch to the next one?
Kenny, we waiting on Kenny.
I'm saying we got enough time to get him in, or we need to switch
Yes,
to the next
sir.
one?
We waiting on Kenny.
I'm gonna go with Bama if Bryce play, and if he don't, I'm going with Tennessee by 10.
Oh man, I don't know what y'all think. Y'all lost in the sauce, man. Look, y'all gonna see Saturday, man. That but y'all know I've been praying on Tennessee downfall all season. Hey, John, I got a vendetta with them boys, man. They got a DB coach, man. Last name.
He say this every week, bro.
Listen. Last name start with an M. I'm not fond of the guy, man. He coached us, and man, I feel like they ran us in the dirt, man. We was 3-9 that year. We sucked. So I hope they get what they deserve this week, man. All right, fellas, there it is, baby.